Have you ever felt that eerie sensation that someone's watching you, even in the safety of your own home? As a senior in the United States, you might think your private moments are yours alone, but the shocking truth is that you're being tracked, monitored, and profiled in places you'd never suspect, from your living room to your daily errands. I'm a privacy expert, and in this video, I'm exposing 5 everyday places where your personal life is being invaded without your knowledge. You need to watch until the end because the final revelation will not only stun you but also arm you with critical steps to protect your privacy and reclaim control over your life. Don't miss this. Your freedom depends on it. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Your smart TV, the spy in your living room. The era of the humble television, with its rabbit ear antennas and clunky dials, is a distant memory. Modern smart TVs are sophisticated, internet-connected devices that resemble powerful computers more than their analog predecessors. These sleek, high-definition screens offer a dazzling array of features: streaming apps, voice controls, video conferencing, and seamless integration with your smart home ecosystem. But beneath the glossy surface lies a troubling reality. Your smart TV is watching you, collecting data on your every move, and potentially turning your living room into a surveillance hub. Every action you take on your smart TV is meticulously tracked. The shows you binge watch, the movies you pause, the moments you rewind, and even the ads you skip, all of these interactions are logged, creating a detailed digital profile of your viewing habits, preferences, and routines. This data can reveal intimate details about your life, from your work schedule to your entertainment tastes, and even your political leanings based on the news channels you frequent. But the intrusion doesn't stop there. Many smart TVs come equipped with built-in cameras and microphones, designed for convenient features like voice-activated controls or video chats with friends and family. These components, however, can become tools for covert surveillance. You might assume that your TV's camera and microphone are inactive when not in use, but that's a risky assumption. Numerous reports and investigations have revealed disturbing cases where smart TVs have recorded audio snippets or captured images without explicit user consent. In some instances, manufacturers or third-party apps have been found to store this data or transmit it to remote servers, often without clear disclosure to the user. Imagine this scenario. You're sitting in your living room, casually discussing sensitive topics like your health concerns, financial struggles, or personal relationships, unaware that your TV's microphone might be quietly capturing every word. This data could be aggregated and sold to advertisers, who use it to target you with unervingly precise ads. Worse still, it could fall into the hands of cyber criminals or scammers, who exploit such information to prey on vulnerable individuals, including seniors who may be less familiar with the risks of connected devices. The implications are chilling. Your smart TV, a device meant to bring entertainment and relaxation, could inadvertently expose your private life to corporations, hackers, or even malicious actors. For example, a 2019 study by researchers at Northeastern University and the University of Chicago found that many smart TVs and streaming devices were sending user data to third parties, including Netflix and Amazon, even when users weren't actively using those services. Other reports have highlighted vulnerabilities in certain TV models that allowed hackers to remotely activate cameras or microphones, turning your device into a literal window into your home. Fortunately, you can take steps to reclaim your privacy and protect yourself from these invasive practices. Start by diving into your smart TV's settings menu. Most modern TVs allow you to disable the microphone and camera, though the process can be buried in complex menus. Take the time to explore the privacy settings and turn off any features that enable data collection or tracking. For added peace of mind, physically cover the camera with a piece of opaque tape or a dedicated camera cover. This simple, low-tech solution ensures no images are captured, even if the camera is remotely activated. Another effective strategy is to opt for external streaming devices, such as a Roku, Amazon Fire TV Stick, or Apple TV, instead of relying on your smart TV's built-in apps. These devices often provide more transparent privacy controls and are easier to manage than the operating systems embedded in many smart TVs. When setting up a new device, carefully review the privacy settings and disable any unnecessary data sharing features. For instance, Some devices allow you to opt out of targeted advertising or limit data collection for analytics purposes. Be sure to read the fine print during setup, as manufacturers often rely on users' tendency to skip through terms of service agreements. Additionally, consider the broader context of your home network. Smart TVs are just one part of an increasingly connected ecosystem, and securing your Wi-Fi network with a strong password and encryption, such as WPA3, can help prevent unauthorized access to your devices. Regularly updating your TV's firmware is also crucial, as manufacturers often release patches to address security vulnerabilities. If you're particularly concerned about privacy, you might even consider disconnecting your smart TV from the internet entirely when not in use, effectively turning it into a dumb TV for watching cable or Blu-ray discs. The stakes are high in an era where personal data is a valuable commodity. By taking proactive measures, you can ensure that your smart TV serves its intended purpose, entertainment, without compromising your privacy. Don't let your living room, a space meant for comfort and connection, become a surveillance hub that exposes your personal life to unseen eyes and ears. Stay vigilant, take control of your device's settings, and reclaim your privacy in the age of connected technology. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 2. Your smartphone apps. A digital pickpocket in your pocket. Your smartphone is more than just a device. It's a lifeline. It keeps you connected to loved ones, helps you manage medications through handy reminder apps, lets you check the weather, or allows you to unwind with a quick game of solitaire. For many, especially seniors, it's an indispensable tool for navigating daily life. But beneath the convenience lies a hidden danger. Many of the apps you download, particularly those enticing free ones, are wolves in sheep's clothing, designed to pilfer your personal data and erode your privacy. That innocuous weather app, flashlight tool, or puzzle game might seem harmless, but it could be quietly siphoning off sensitive information about you, turning your trusted device into a digital pickpocket. Every time you download an app, you're prompted to grant permissions, access to your location, microphone, camera, contacts, text messages, or even your photo gallery. But pause and consider. Why does a flashlight app need to know your precise location at 2 p.m.? Why does a word game require access to your contacts or microphone? The answer is simple. It doesn't. These permissions often have little to do with the app's core functionality and everything to do with collecting data to fuel surveillance capitalism. By tapping Accept without scrutinizing the fine print, you're unwittingly handing over a treasure trove of personal information. This data can be used to build detailed profiles of your habits, preferences, and routines, which are then sold to advertisers or, in worst-case scenarios, exploited by hackers and scammers. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to these tactics. Cybercriminals and shady app developers know that many older adults may not be familiar with the intricacies of app permissions or the risks of data collection. They exploit this by designing apps that appear useful or entertaining but are built to harvest as much personal information as possible. For example, a 2020 report from the cybersecurity firm Kaspersky revealed that nearly 20% of apps on popular app stores requested excessive permissions unrelated to their stated purpose. These apps can track your movements via GPS, listen to your conversations through your phone's microphone, or even access your text messages, which might contain sensitive details like banking information or two-factor authentication codes. The consequences can be alarming. Have you ever casually mentioned a product in a conversation? Say, a new pair of shoes or a medical device, only to see eerily targeted ads for that exact item pop up on your phone hours later? This isn't a coincidence. It's the result of apps quietly listening to or tracking your behavior. Some apps use background listening to capture audio snippets, even when you're not actively using them, while others monitor your browsing history or location data to predict your interests. This information is often shared with third parties, including data brokers who compile and sell comprehensive profiles about you. In the hands of scammers, this data can be used to craft highly convincing phishing attacks or fraudulent schemes tailored specifically to you, exploiting vulnerabilities like health concerns or financial insecurities that are particularly prevalent among seniors. The risks don't end with targeted ads. Malicious apps can leak your data to cybercriminals, who might use it for identity theft, financial fraud, or even blackmail. For instance, an app with access to your contacts could send phishing messages to your friends and family, pretending to be you. Others might exploit location data to determine when you're away from home, making you a target for physical theft. A 2022 study by the University of California, San Diego found that over 60% of popular Android apps shared user data with third parties, often without clear disclosure, highlighting the pervasive nature of this problem. Thankfully, you can take concrete steps to protect yourself and ensure your smartphone serves you, not spies on you. Start by being selective about the apps you download. Before installing anything, check the app's permissions in the App Store, Google Play or Apple's App Store, to see what data it requests and whether those permissions align with its purpose. A reputable developer will clearly explain why certain permissions are needed, while vague or overly broad requests are a red flag. Stick to well-known apps from trusted developers. Think major companies like Google, Microsoft, or established brands, and avoid obscure apps with few reviews or questionable origins. Once an app is installed, take control of its permissions. On your smartphone, navigate to the Settings menu and look for the Privacy or App section. On iOS, go to Settings Privacy. On Android, go to Settings Apps or Privacy. Here, you can review and manage permissions for each app individually. Turn off unnecessary access, such as location tracking for games, microphone access for utility apps, or camera access for apps that don't need to take photos. Both iOS and Android now offer granular controls, allowing you to grant permissions only when the app is in use or to deny them entirely. For example, if a weather app insists on knowing your location, consider granting it access only when you're actively using it, or better yet, enter your city manually to avoid constant tracking. Regularly audit your apps and delete those you no longer use. Unused apps can still run in the background, collecting data or exploiting vulnerabilities in outdated software. To streamline this process, check your phone's app management settings to see which apps are consuming the most data or battery, as this can indicate excessive background activity. You can also leverage built-in privacy features, such as Apple's App Tracking Transparency, which lets you block apps from tracking your activity across other apps and websites, or Android's Privacy Dashboard, which shows which apps have accessed your data recently. Beyond app management, adopt broader security habits to safeguard your device. Keep your phone's operating system and apps updated to patch security vulnerabilities. Use strong, unique passwords for your App Store accounts, and enable two-factor authentication where available. If you're particularly concerned about privacy, consider using a reputable mobile security app to scan for malicious behavior, though be cautious even with these, as some security apps have been caught collecting data themselves. Your smartphone should empower you, not expose you to exploitation. By scrutinizing app permissions, sticking to trusted developers, and regularly reviewing your privacy settings, you can minimize the risks and keep your personal information secure. Don't let the convenience of a free app turn your phone into a digital pickpocket. Take charge of your privacy and ensure your device works for you, not against you. 3. Public security cameras. You're on camera everywhere. In today's world, stepping out of your home in the United States means entering a sprawling network of surveillance. Public security cameras are ubiquitous, dotting grocery stores, pharmacies, coffee shops, parking lots, and even serene spaces like local parks. Gone are the days when these cameras captured grainy, indistinct footage used solely for catching shoplifters. Modern systems are equipped with advanced technologies, including facial recognition, that can identify you, track your movements across a city, and link your face to vast databases containing personal information. Whether you're picking up a prescription, grabbing a latte, or taking a walk in your neighborhood, your daily routine is being recorded, often by private companies or government agencies operating with minimal transparency or oversight. For seniors, this pervasive monitoring can feel like a profound violation of personal freedom. You've lived a life of independence, yet every step you take outside is scrutinized as if you were a suspect in a crime. The reality is stark. The average American is captured on camera dozens, if not hundreds, of times per day. A 2021 report by the Georgetown Law Center on Privacy and Technology estimated that over half of U.S. adults are in facial recognition databases, often without their knowledge or consent. These systems don't just record, they analyze, cataloging your movements and habits. Some cameras feed data to private marketing firms, which use your shopping trips or pharmacy visits to bombard you with hyper-targeted ads before you even return home. Others share information with law enforcement, raising concerns about misuse, especially when errors in facial recognition technology, known to misidentify individuals, particularly from minority groups, can lead to wrongful accusations. The implications are deeply unsettling. A simple errand to the grocery store could reveal sensitive details about your life, such as your health conditions, based on the medications you buy, or your financial status, inferred from your shopping patterns. Private companies, which operate many of these cameras, often lack clear policies on how long they store footage or who they share it with. Government-run systems, meanwhile, may integrate with broader surveillance networks, creating a digital trail of your life that's nearly impossible to escape. For seniors who value their autonomy and privacy, this constant monitoring feels like a betrayal of the freedoms they've spent a lifetime cherishing. You can take steps to protect yourself in this surveillance-heavy landscape. Start by increasing your awareness of where cameras are located. Next time you're in a store, bank, or public space, look up. Cameras are often mounted in corners, above entrances, or along aisles. On street corners, they may be attached to traffic lights or poles. If you're concerned about facial recognition, consider subtle ways to obscure your face, such as wearing sunglasses, a wide-brimmed hat, or a scarf, especially in high-traffic areas like malls or urban centers. These low-tech solutions can make it harder for automated systems to identify you, though they're not foolproof. Avoid sharing personal details, like your name or address, in public spaces where cameras and microphones might be present, such as near self-checkout kiosks or ATMs. Advocacy is another powerful tool. When shopping or visiting businesses, ask about their camera policies. Do they use facial recognition? How long do they store footage? Who has access to it? Many companies are unprepared for such questions, and your inquiry might prompt them to be more transparent or rethink their practices. On a broader level, consider supporting organizations that advocate for stronger privacy laws, such as the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which pushes for regulations to limit the use of facial recognition and ensure accountability. Knowledge is power, and staying informed about the surveillance maze empowers you to navigate it with greater control over your personal privacy. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 4. Your home assistant, the helpful eavesdropper. Smart home assistants like Amazon's Alexa, Google Home, or Apple's Siri are marketed as lifesavers, especially for seniors. These devices promise convenience, playing your favorite music, setting medication reminders, answering questions, or even calling loved ones with a simple voice command. For those seeking to maintain independence, they seem like the perfect companion. But there's a darker side to these helpful gadgets. They're always listening, even when you haven't uttered their wake word. Studies and whistleblower reports have revealed that these devices can misinterpret background noises, conversations, TV audio, or even random sounds, as commands, triggering recordings of private moments that are then stored in massive cloud-based databases. The risks are profound. Imagine sitting in your kitchen, discussing sensitive topics like your medical conditions, family disputes, or financial concerns, unaware that your smart assistant is capturing snippets of your conversation. A 2019 investigation by Bloomberg found that Amazon employed thousands of workers to listen to Alexa recordings, allegedly to improve the technology. But these recordings often included highly personal information, from children's voices to intimate discussions. Similarly, Google and Apple have faced scrutiny for similar practices, with reports confirming that human reviewers sometimes access these recordings, even when users are unaware. Beyond human eavesdropping, these devices are part of a broader ecosystem of connected gadgets. Smart thermostats, doorbells, lights, or even refrigerators that collectively map out your daily life. They know when you wake up, when you leave the house, when you cook dinner, and even when you go to bed, creating a detailed digital portrait of your routines. For seniors, who often prize their independence and the sanctity of their homes, this level of intrusion is not just invasive, it's heartbreaking. Your home is supposed to be a private sanctuary, a place where you can speak freely and live without fear of being monitored. Yet, these devices turn that sanctuary into a data goldmine for tech companies, who use the information to refine their algorithms, sell targeted ads, or share with third parties. In some cases, vulnerabilities in these devices have allowed hackers to access microphones or cameras, turning your assistant into a portal for cybercriminals. A 2023 cybersecurity report highlighted instances where poorly secured smart home devices were exploited to spy on users or launch phishing attacks, putting seniors, who may be less tech-savvy, at particular risk. Protecting yourself requires vigilance and proactive measures. The simplest step is to mute or unplug your smart assistant when it's not in use. Most devices have a physical mute button or switch that disables the microphone, preventing it from listening to ambient sounds. For added security, unplug the device entirely during private conversations or when you're away from home. Dive into the device's companion app, e.g., the Alexa app or Google Home app, to review and adjust privacy settings. Look for options to limit data collection, disable voice recording storage, or opt out of features like voice training that encourage the device to save more data. Regularly delete stored recordings. Most apps provide a history of voice interactions, allowing you to erase them manually or set up automatic deletion after a set period, such as 3 months. If you rely on your assistant for basic tasks like playing music or setting timers, consider non-smart alternatives. A traditional radio or Bluetooth speaker can play music without listening to your conversations, and a simple kitchen timer or wall clock can handle reminders without cloud connectivity. If you keep your smart assistant, be cautious about connecting it to other smart home devices, as this expands the potential data points it can collect. For example, a smart doorbell might share footage of your visitors, while a smart thermostat could reveal your daily schedule. Limit these integrations to essential functions and regularly check for firmware updates to patch security vulnerabilities. Finally, educate yourself about the privacy policies of the devices you own. Manufacturers like Amazon, Google, and Apple publish privacy statements, though they're often dense and difficult to parse. Look for summaries from reputable tech news sources or privacy advocacy groups to understand what data is collected and how it's used. By taking these steps, you can ensure that your home remains a true sanctuary, not a hub for corporate data collection or cyber exploitation. Your independence and peace of mind deserve nothing less. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 5. Your online searches. Your private thoughts exposed. Every time you type a question into a search engine like Google or Bing, it feels like a private, fleeting moment, a quiet conversation between you and your screen. Whether you're researching best arthritis remedies, retirement planning tips, or even something as mundane as local weather, you likely assume your queries are yours alone. The reality, however, is far more intrusive. Your online searches are among the most heavily tracked activities you perform, with every keystroke, click, and pause meticulously logged, often tied directly to your device, IP address, or even your real-world identity. For seniors, this pervasive surveillance poses unique risks, turning your most personal questions, typed in the sanctity of your home, into a digital diary that's exploited by advertisers, data brokers, and, in the worst cases, scammers preying on your vulnerabilities. Search engines don't just record what you search for, they analyze how you search. They track the time you spend hovering over a link, the pages you click, how far you scroll, and even the terms you abandon mid-query. This data is compiled into a detailed profile that reveals intimate details about your life. Your health concerns, searches for symptoms of memory loss or knee pain relief, your financial status, affordable senior living or pension options, and even your fears or aspirations, how to avoid loneliness in retirement. These profiles are goldmines for advertisers, who use them to serve hyper-targeted ads, often with eerie precision. More alarmingly, this data is frequently sold to data brokers, third-party companies that aggregate and resell personal information, creating a permanent, ever-growing record of your private thoughts that never truly disappears. For seniors, the consequences of this data collection can be particularly insidious. A single search about a sensitive topic, like memory loss or chronic illness, can trigger a flood of targeted ads for dubious products. Think unproven supplements, questionable medical devices, or outright scams promising miracle cures. Scammers, well aware that older adults may be less familiar with digital privacy risks, exploit these vulnerabilities with ruthless efficiency. A 2022 report by the Federal Trade Commission noted a sharp rise in scams targeting seniors, with many originating from data harvested through online activities like searches. For example, a search for diabetes management might lead to ads for unverified treatments, while a query about retirement savings could attract fraudulent investment schemes. Beyond financial risks, the psychological toll is significant. The realization that your private concerns, shared in a moment of vulnerability, are being commodified can feel like a profound betrayal of trust. The mechanics of this surveillance are relentless. Search engines like Google, which processes over 8.5 billion searches daily, use cookies, device identifiers, and account logins to link your searches to a unique profile. If you're signed into a Google account, for instance, your searches are directly tied to your email, name, and other personal details. Even if you're not logged in, trackers can still identify you through your IP address or browser fingerprinting, a technique that uses your device's unique settings, like screen resolution or installed fonts, to track you across websites. These profiles are shared with advertisers through real-time bidding systems, where your data is auctioned off in milliseconds to companies eager to target you. Worse still, data brokers may sell this information to less scrupulous entities, including scammers who craft personalized attacks based on your health, financial, or emotional vulnerabilities. Protecting yourself in this digital landscape requires proactive steps to reclaim your privacy. One of the most effective measures is to switch to a privacy-focused search engine like DuckDuckGo or Startpage. Unlike mainstream search engines, these alternatives don't track your searches, store your IP address, or build user profiles. DuckDuckGo, for instance, processes queries anonymously and doesn't use cookies to follow you across the web. While the search results may differ slightly from Google's, they're often just as reliable for everyday queries like health tips or local services. Another option is to use your browser's incognito or private browsing mode, which prevents cookies and temporary data from being stored on your device. Be aware, however, that incognito mode doesn't make you fully anonymous. It only limits local data storage, so your internet provider or the search engine itself can still see your activity unless you're using a privacy-focused service. Regularly clearing your search history is another critical step. On Google, you can access your search history through your account's My Activity page and delete individual searches or set up automatic deletion for data older than a specified period, e.g., 3 or 18 months. Similarly, Bing allows you to manage your search history via your Microsoft account settings. For added protection, clear your browser's cookies and cache weekly to disrupt tracking across websites. Be cautious about clicking on ads, especially those that seem suspiciously relevant to your recent searches. Sponsored links often appear at the top of search results, masquerading as legitimate sources, but they can lead to scam websites or phishing traps. If you're researching sensitive topics like health or finances, verify the credibility of websites by checking their domain, e.g., .gov or .edu sites are generally trustworthy, and cross-referencing information with reputable sources like the Mayo Clinic or AARP. Beyond these technical measures, adopt a mindset of digital caution. Avoid searching for highly personal topics on devices tied to your real-world identity, such as a phone or computer logged into a personal account. If possible, use a dedicated device or browser for sensitive research, and consider using a virtual private network, VPN, to mask your IP address, adding an extra layer of anonymity. Popular VPNs like NordVPN or ProtonVPN are user-friendly and can help shield your online activity from prying eyes, though they may require a small monthly fee. Finally, stay informed about your rights. Organizations like the Electronic Privacy Information Center, EPIC, advocate for stronger data protection laws, and supporting their efforts can help push for a future where your online searches remain private. Your thoughts are your own, and your searches should reflect that. By switching to privacy-focused tools, managing your data, and staying vigilant about the ads and websites you encounter, you can protect your personal information from exploitation. Don't let your private moments, typed in the quiet of your home, become fodder for scammers or corporations. Take control of your digital footprint and ensure your online searches remain a sanctuary for your curiosity, not a gateway to surveillance. Wow, seniors, we've just uncovered the shocking truth about how your privacy is being invaded in 5 everyday places. From your smart TV to your online searches. You're now armed with the knowledge to fight back and protect your personal life. So, what's one thing you've learned today that's opened your eyes? Maybe it's how to mute your home assistant or why you should check app permissions. Drop a comment below this video and share one lesson you're taking to heart and will put into practice to safeguard your privacy. Your story could inspire others. If you found this video eye-opening, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tips to stay safe and empowered.